Welcome to Nowhere Comedy Club. Are you ready for Bill Burr Live? All right. It's gonna be a good show. Let's just make sure we all have our audio settings. Those of you in the front row, you have the ability for us to see and hear you, and your dog's barking too. So we want to make sure that this is a great experience for everybody. So in the lower left hand of your screen, there is a button that allows you to adjust your settings. Make sure your mic is set at 1/5, or else we might have to mute you. We don't want to do it, but we will if we have to. So we definitely want to hear your laughter. We're excited. So let's get this show going. To start us off, your host, his debut special, Let's Never Hang Out, just aired on ABC Comedy. He's opening for Jim Jeffries and Steve Hofstetter. Please welcome Daniel Muggleston.
Hey, how you doing? Hope you're well. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Bill Burr. Thank you, Molly, there for pointing out that my special did just air on Australian television, but it was on ABC Comedy, so there's actually more people watching me right now than watched ABC Comedy. 1.5K. That's how many people are watching this show right now. Guys, we are a sold-out theatre. This is truly the greatest ever test of Australia's internet. Holy shit. Are we going to make it? I don't know. If anyone tries to watch Netflix at the same time, we're fucked, probably. But hey, we're going to make it through this thing together. I'm here. I'm the host of the show. I'm just letting you guys know how this thing works. I assume for a lot of you, this might actually be the first time you're watching comedy on Zoom. I am an Australian person, by the way. I just want to point that out. I know where the tracksuit people can get confused, but I just lived in the UK for 2 years, and this is my attempt to assimilate. This was it, and I think I nailed it. You know, wearing a tracksuit before I start speaking, you're probably like Liverpool, if I had to guess. But, you know, that's what we're doing. Now we're back in Australia, and I just look flammable. But let's tell you how Zoom comedy is going to work. We want to hear you laugh. That's why we do this thing on Zoom, because we can hear you. There's 1,500 people here. We want to hear that laughter. Please, as was explained earlier, chuck the volume on 1/5. That is the level that we can hear you laugh, and you will not drown out the show, because obviously you want to hear Bill just as much as he wants to hear you laugh. Other than that, if you do get muted, please don't unmute yourself. You've been muted for a reason. They'll be in touch to try and help you out with that. But then we'll try and get you off mute. If you're in a nice quiet place, please do turn those microphones on so I can hear you laugh. That is what it's all about. Beyond that, we have a great support act for you before Bill gets on this thing. But just to test the levels, can everybody just do a little clap and cheer for me? No, why not just make some noise?
They're just tasting it.
We've seen the beautiful show, just the carousel of living rooms, just noticing all the different IKEA furniture arrangements that Australians have brought. That was awesome, very creative, great job all around. But yes, this is a huge show, and it's I know a lot of you probably haven't been to a Zoom show before because this is an Australia, New Zealand audience, which means we didn't really have a pandemic last year, did we? We nailed it. We totally dodged that bullet. Who would have thought being an island was a fucking threat for that one? I was just in Adelaide for 2 weeks. There was absolutely no trace of a pandemic in Adelaide. When people cross the road in Adelaide, they still push the button with their finger. What? With their finger, raw dog in the traffic light, like that's acceptable in 2021. Well, your elbow, you can't get it done, right? That's what you got to do. That's how you cross the street in 2021. Now, I want to get your first act up here on stage. You guys ready for your first act? very good friend of mine. He's coming to you from the Gold Coast. I'm coming to you from Melbourne. He's from the Gold Coast. Bill, of course, is in LA. So please, ladies and gentlemen, start clapping and cheering. Let him hear it, Mr. Al Del Bene.
Oh, thank you, everybody. Can you hear me? Yes. This is fucking great. Hi, what's up, everybody? Yes, I'm in the Gold Coast. I'm American. Remember that place? That was fun while it lasted. But I live in Australia now. I've been here 7 years. I fucking love it. It's a wonderful place to live. I mean that with all my heart. I do miss my freedom, but other than that, fantastic. You Australians are very laid back. This is what I love about you. You don't even know how laid back you are. That's how fucking laid back you are. It shows in the way you talk. You can learn a lot about any culture by the way they talk. French people, for example, very sexual. So much so that their word for the number 1 is It's fucking fantastic. They should have kept that for all the numbers, too. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, everybody. But in Australia, your big reveal is you guys do things and have things. You'll have a shower, you'll have a nap, you'll do a poo. Because I'm very laid back. But compared to the States, where we take a shower, and we take a nap, and we take a shit. It's very hostile. That's why we all have guns. Don't take that shower, that's my fucking shower! That's how I was when I moved here. You guys are like, fucking relax, mate. Have a nap. That sounds great. I was going to take your nap, but I'll just have a nap. There are plenty of naps for everybody in Australia. Oh, the other thing I love about you guys is you fucking hate your politicians. Holy shit. It doesn't matter who they are or what they're doing. You could have voted for the guy. Fucking yeah, mate. Fucking this guy. I don't know how Australians vote. Fucking that one right there. I don't know. But as soon as he's in office, he's a fucking cunt. You voted for him. You can't. I fucking hate that guy. I respect that shit. Now, there are a few things to fuck with my head. There's that saying good as or sweet as. The first time I heard that, I stood there like an asshole waiting for the ending. Never comes. And that made me mad, so now I like to fuck with you. If someone goes, oh, sweet as, I say, I reckon it's sweeter. Sweeter than what? Exactly. Finish your fucking sentences. Give that a shot. Some of the place names fuck with my head. I live in New South Wales. We have places called Dubbo, Taree, Toongabbie, Wollongong, and Woolloomooloo. They sound like doo-wop songs to me. I can't wrap my head around it. I was driving to a gig the other night. I drove through a suburb. The sign actually read, now entering, ball ba ba ball ba ball ba ball ball ba ba ball ba ba ball ba bang 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 boom boom moon blue moon blue moon blue moon ball ba ball ball ba ball ba ball bang 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 ding dong ding Oh, thank you, everybody. You have to clap. I sang a song. This is nice. This is nice being on a computer with you people. Yeah, this is good that this is in Australia. Like Daniel Muggleston was saying, we didn't have any lockdown for very long. 4 months in Sydney. 4 fucking months, which, you know, wasn't the best thing, because my wife and I have a couple of those fucking kids at home, and, I don't recommend it. If you don't have babies, don't have babies. That's the best advice you're ever going to get in your lives. Yeah. Gentlemen, just pull out. It's more fun to watch it go everywhere anyway. Yeah, it's like New Year's Eve. You're making people. When you're having babies, you're making people. I didn't think that shit through. I swear to God, I didn't think it through. My wife is Australian, which is why I'm fucking here. And a few years back, she was like, crikey, let's have babies, g'day. And I was like, fuck, that sounds like fun. I've had pets my entire life. You leave meat and water on the ground, done. But these are people that you're making. People come out of there. Fun goes in, people come out. And once they're out, they're always home. Remember that every fucking second of every day. I was surrounded. I basically created roommates who shit their pants. That's what I did. Nobody tried to stop me, and I'm resentful. And I don't want you to misunderstand me. I love my children with all my heart. I'd kill for them. I'd die for them. All I'm saying is if I never met them, wouldn't miss them. That's a fact. And I'm expected to be some amazing father that's never existed in the history of time. I'm 48 years old. There are probably people on here my age or older. The way we were raised, the way our parents brought us up is illegal now. That's the fucking law. They'll take your kids away if you do to your children what was done to us. Simple shit. Who here remembers being left in the car? It was nothing. Oh, we'll be right back. 5 minutes. I'm 3 years old. I don't even know how long 5 minutes is. How are you coming back? And I didn't have personal entertainment to get me through either. I had a fucking window I had to stare out of. As long as it took for them to come back. No TV, no games, homeless guy. On the other end of that window, with the biggest penis I've ever seen in my life. And it got even bigger somehow when he mushed it against the glass and like spread out or something. Oh, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. He wasn't homeless. He was a friend of the family. That's how they get you. You're not allowed to hit your kids anymore, and they fucking know it. It's in their DNA. My son was fucking around the other day. I said, stop it. He did one of these. Fully confident, chest out, made eye contact. He leaned in. I would have been put through a fucking wall if I had ever done that. And that was my first thought. Put him through the wall. And if I'm honest, if I had a house, I may have, but I'm in a unit, so I had to think that shit through. There's a neighbor on the other side of that wall, so I just yelled at him inside my own body. You ever do that to your kid? Oh, I was mad. I was mad because he stuck his tongue out. All I wanted to do was grab it, rip it out of his skull, and nail it to the wall as a warning to his sister to keep her fucking mouth shut. I actually tried. That's how angry I was. Said, come here. You want to stick that fucking thing? I couldn't get it. They're very slippy. I don't know if you ever tried to grab a tongue. It's damn near impossible. And he started to giggle. Don't you feel any fucking joy? This isn't a game. Then I realized what a psychopath I was being. And even though I was angry, I had to, Daddy's playing a fun little game. I'm telling you when I try to rip your fucking tongue out of your skull. He's a good one. Oh, man. I don't like getting older. I'm 48, man, and that shits me. In my head, I'm 25 years old. Is that anybody else? When you picture yourself in your head, you're in your prime? Yeah. Totally, right? And then you catch that reflection of yourself in like a shop window that you weren't expecting. Ruined your fucking day. Yeah, reflections are funny things. I can stand in front of a mirror and just go, fucking, all right, I'll wear this shirt to the show, and I'll just fucking stand like this, and as long as I don't breathe or move, I look fucking fantastic. As the night goes on, you forget yourself and just fucking... And that's when you catch that glimpse in the mirror and you're like, fuck, it's Bigfoot. What the fuck happened to me? I used to be pretty. 4 years ago, I got a brand new hip replacement. Brand new hip on my right side. Full hip replacement. Yeah, I didn't even need it. I just like getting the newest hips as soon as they come out. I get the I-hip 10 up in this bitch, and it's a good operation now. If you haven't had it, they go in through the front. They used to go in through your ass cheek. You'd be in bed for a year, but I recovered very quickly. I do have an 8-inch scar down the front of my leg. I think it's 8 inches. My wife says it's only 6, but what the fuck does she know? They gave me these pills to help me heal faster. You may have heard of them. Oxycodone. Fuck, they were delicious. They gave me 2 kinds. They gave me slow release that I was to take twice a day, and endone, just for fun. Now, the endone was for something called breakthrough pain. I didn't know what that was, so I took them preventatively. And that's the best I ever felt in my fucking life, I'll tell you what. That's scary. 2 pills, just fuck yeah. I have to give you a little background. I was a delinquent as a teenager, if you can believe it. Yeah, I quit cocaine when I was 17 years old. That's the first drug that I quit. I started doing cocaine when I was 13. And here's what we don't want young people to know about cocaine. It's fucking fantastic. That's why people do it, you know? It makes you feel great. Of course, when it's all gone, you want to kill yourself. But when you're all coked up, fuck yeah. It tricks you into thinking you look good. You walk into a room on cocaine, and in your mind, you're like, I look fucking amazing. When people look at you, they see the truth. You see a hot girl across the room, you smile at her. And if that doesn't scare her away, you will sit her down. Let me tell you everything about about myself right now. So I quit that. And then when I was 19, I quit everything, all drugs and alcohol. So at the time of my operation, 4 years ago, I was 25 years sober. These motherfuckers sent me home with pharmacy-grade heroin. And I loved it. Oh, I just sat in front of the television reminding myself to breathe. I don't know if you've had powerful opiates, but that's what happens. Your brain goes, we have everything we need. Every once in a while, you have to pipe up. Not oxygen! Oh, fuck, I ate them all up. I went back for more. I felt guilty. Please, sir, could I have some more? And they were like, yeah, you just had a major operation. I was like, fuck yeah, you're right. I deserve these pills. I ate those up. I went back for a third round. They said yes. Oh, get fucked. This is the new me, everybody. I went back for round number 4. They said, no, no, no. You're addicted. Whose fucking fault is that? I didn't even try to help. They said, go get yourself some over-the-counter codeine. Wean yourself off. Oh, fuck. Okay. Remember over-the-counter codeine? Yes. This was in the last 6 months before they stopped selling it. They treated me like a fucking criminal. First, I thought it was my vibe, because I'm rocking in like, hey, you got any Panadine extra back there? I'll suck your dick. He was like, I don't have a penis. Find a dick and I'll suck it. But the same questions every time. I want to see your license, should say. I'm not driving these fucking pills anywhere. I'm going to eat them. Are these for you? I am not sharing these with anyone. You had them before. Yeah, all the time. Give me the fucking pills. Take them with food. That kills the buzz. You suck at your job. It does. It kills the buzz. Take them on an empty stomach. Eating is cheating. There was a good 8 to 10 weeks in there where I did not poo one time. Pooing is overrated. Money I saved on toilet paper, I got my teeth fixed, so that's a win-win. The operation was fucked too. Yeah, you guys have all had operations, been knocked out. I didn't fucking like it, man. I was so nervous, I didn't think it was gonna work on me. You know, but they laid me down, and they wheeled me into the theater, which I love, because in the US, it's the operating room. But in Australia, it's the theater. They wheel you in. Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my gal. And they gave me some pre-knockout drug. They gave me something that made me goofy before they knocked me out. That was good shit. All my inhibitions went away. I started saying horrible fucking things. But they were right there with me. This is their job. They see this all day long. They're like, watch this. So I'm saying nasty shit. They start laughing. They start saying nasty shit. I start laughing. So I don't blame the anesthetist for saying what she said, because the mood in the theater was jovial. But as she's knocking me out, she's pushing this chemical into me to put me to sleep. She looks down at me and says, this is the same stuff that killed Michael Jackson. I mean, honestly, I just wish I had more time to enjoy it. I was like, huh? I woke up, I had no fucking idea where I was. My dick was taped to my leg and there was a tube coming out of it. That made me grumpy. It's called a catheter, if you didn't know. Yeah. Yeah, fuck, it was gonna have to come out, see? And that's what, I was gonna be awake for that bit. I was asleep when they got it up there, because they wouldn't have fucking got up there if I was awake. And I'll spare you the details, but, I mean, I don't want to brag, but I'm tight. Anyway, this came out. The second they took it out, I had to do a wee. So I crutched myself to the toilet. I'm doing my wee. It's all perfectly normal until right at the very end of my wee, when my dick farted. It's not supposed to happen. You might not know that. That is not supposed to happen. It scared the shit out of me. I crutched right over to the nurse's station. I was like, you fucking broke it. My dick just farted. And she didn't even flinch. She said sometimes the catheter will introduce air to the bladder. That's the word she used, introduce. Like bladder, this is air, this is bladder. So right at the very end of my wee, my dick said, like a tiny little horsey. And then, well, not tiny, like a fucking slightly bigger than average horsey. But then I got mad that nobody warned me. Nobody was like, hey, your dick might fart. Had somebody warned me, I would have had my phone ready. Believe me. I'll be showing you guys right now. So this is more of a public service announcement for the gentlemen. God forbid you have a catheter, get your fucking phone ready for that first week. Because you're going to want to show your mates. And I'm circumcised. Imagine if I wasn't. It would have been like... angry Britishman. Something's happened here. Can you guys still hear me? Josh, look at the screen, please. Lost the audio. Am I still on?
Yep.
I can hear you.
Okay. What? Okay.
Like,
Hello. Not
Hello.
Anyway, show me if you can still hear me.
Uh-oh. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I joked about Australia's internet maybe not... And that was fucking proof right there. Queensland, not up to snuff. Who would have thought? I think the technical term for what I need to do now is feel. I think that's it. How are you guys all feeling in your living room? I'm going to point out James Middleton for some reason, because you've got an Adelaide poster behind you.
We're back.
Which is way too much pride to have in that town. You know what I mean? You live in Adelaide, that should be your greatest shame, sir. You should keep that to yourself. But I do respect the fact that I was just in Adelaide, right?
He's doing a bit.
I never know. Oh wait, Al, you back? This was me saving you, brother.
Thank you, man.
Yes. Are you? Who would have thought?
Yes.
This nice age gap where, like, I need to help you with technology. You know what I mean? Like, you just have it's too large font on your phone kind of vibe. You gonna finish?
Yeah. Well, I'll bring up Billy if that's cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, you get to applaud him a second time. Al Del Bene!
This is a bonus. My name's been said more than once. No, this is cool. The show has been brought to you by IINet. Here we go. All right, guys. That was my show. I hope you enjoyed it. These things happen, but are you ready for your headliner, ladies and gentlemen? Let me hear you. Yes. I love this guy. He's hilariously talented. We started together back in the day in Boston. You've seen him at the 99s in Bill Ricca. You've seen him at Dick Doherty's Comedy Hut in Alston, Brighton. Ladies and gentlemen, please.
All right, thank you. Al Del Bene, everybody. Al, it was Dick Doherty's Comedy Vault, not the Hut. Fucked up my intro. All right, what's going on, peoples? How are you? Be here in this garage in the valley, talking to all of you out that way. You guys look good, man. I got to tell you, you know, I was reading up on the news. They were talking about the floods. They were saying you guys were all going to have like poison spiders in your living room, shit, and I'm not seeing any of it. Breaking news, right? Just go for the negative. There's wallabies and poison spiders. You guys just sitting here eating fucking microwave dinners. Or is it the afternoon? I don't know. Anyway, can you guys hear me? I can't even hear myself. Can you guys hear me? All right, okay. Get ready before I cut out. This is what you guys paid for. Jesus Christ. You guys aren't quarantined down there at all? No? What the fuck? They're never gonna let us out. We got everybody back here doesn't believe in it. Half the people don't even believe in it. They're walking around with no masks on. And they're like, it's just the flu. It's just the flu. According to my non-medical background, that's all it is. Just I don't care. I don't care if people don't wear masks. I understand the youth of America not wearing masks. I do understand it. You know what I mean? It's like they got screwed. The American dream is over. You know, there's no meat left on the bone. And they went to college and they have all this debt. And they're never going to get a job. So they only have one option, right? Get COVID and go cough on some old white people. We can open up a corner office. It's how this country was taken. It was taken by force. Many murders were committed. Why stop now? No? Can we turn up the laughter just a little bit? I feel like I'm rehearsing. Chuckle. There we go. There we go. Now I can hear some laughter.
We got you.
I don't know. But I don't buy into, there's a lot of anti-American stuff out there. And a lot of liberal Americans like to try to act like every other country's better than America. But I've traveled, so I know that's not true. You know? I've been to Australia on Australia Day. I've seen it. See what you guys are capable of, so don't even act like you fucking read down there, all right? The same pasty cunts from fucking Europe we are. I don't know. Or maybe you're more informed with your BBC. Do you guys have BBC down there? Is it ABC with Australia?
ABC.
The AB? It is, okay. All right. Well, this is my deal. I don't listen to anybody anymore. All right? You don't want to hear any of your fucking theories, any of your bullshit. All right? The only way I'm going to listen to your theories is if you got your information at the library. All right? Because the library has the decency to break up information between fiction and nonfiction. Meaning, this stuff happened, and this is just some shit somebody made up. But you go on the internet, and everything is presented as fact. And it has ominous music underneath it, and everybody's saying, they start, oh yeah. What's that? Dude, did you see that? Dude, I think Kurt Cobain killed Courtney. Watch this thing the other day. I think a junkie from 3 states away killed another junkie, and the cops couldn't figure it out. But somehow this idiot with the fucking camera figured it out. Dude, I'm 52 years old. Do you realize for the first 45 years of my life, everybody agreed the world was round? Nobody argued that. There was a globe, and then look, there's a fucking globe right here. There was a globe in every room. This is more of a depressing one. This is the world we're all going towards. This is the world they hold up at Klan meetings. They're saying to get rid of all the whiteness in the world. What they want on a black planet. This is what Public Enemy was talking about. Fear of a black planet. Now, you know what's going to happen is one of you assholes is going to fucking capture that, edit it, and just put that on the internet. That's going to be the end of my career. You've been canceled. Hairy-legged white chicks in America will no longer listen to you. Yeah, ladies, just because you don't shave your armpits doesn't mean you now have something to say. Just throwing that out there. This means you didn't shave. I grew a beard. Look how dumb I am. Yeah, for the first 45 years of my life, everybody agreed that the fucking world was round, right? And then what happened? All of a sudden, the internet comes out. You got all these fucking idiots are now walking around. Oh, it's like a big cereal bowl. Wasn't there a bunch of people who were going to charter a boat down there in Australia? A bunch of flat earthers so they could sail to Antarctica and look at the ice wall? This is what the internet has done. You realize, this is the deal. See, back in the day, if someone like had a theory, like they had to come to you and say it. You know what I mean? If the guy was a fucking moron, you'd be in a bar, and this guy'd be like, you know what? The world's actually flat. And you start presenting his opinions, and all you had to do was look at his shoes, and you'd be like, all right, this guy's a fucking idiot. Over. But now that same guy, he's got a YouTube channel, and he knows how to cut and paste shit, and all of a sudden, this stuff starts making sense. This guy's on to something. So you know, you got 200 adults in a boat sailing down to fucking Antarctica. I'll tell you, if it was a perfect world, that ship would sink. I love that debate, too. Do you think God's a man? Do you think God's a woman? Right? I don't know what God is. Whatever it is, it doesn't give a shit. Right? It clearly doesn't give a shit. You tell me. You watch the average idiot on social media, and then if you spend that, all right, and then you go watch animals eating each other. If you can still believe in a higher power after that, you know? Bears. Why can't they just kill what they're eating? Why does he have to make something like that so fucking stupid? Well, it's smart enough to ride a bicycle at a circus, right? But it can't just kill something before it eats it. So what it did to Leonardo DiCaprio, one of our great Americans, was taking chunks out of his back. All he had to do was slap him in the fucking head. What that is, that's our punishment for eating lobsters, right? Boiling him alive. I've never understood that. You can't just fucking smack him in the back of his head, give him a little two behind his non-existent ears, just put him out of his fucking misery, boil it alive. If you don't, it's not fresh enough. I can kill it right here and then drop it in the pot. Now you can taste it. It's a difference. If it doesn't suffer, it doesn't taste good. People just like, oh, you know, you can. It was like, it doesn't feel anything. It's underwater. You can't hear it yelling, right? That's why so many people drown every year. No one can hear their calls for help. That's what it is. That's what it is. So I love this guy just fucking laying down. He's about ready to fucking fall asleep here. For God's sake, sir, could you sit up? At least it's fucking midnight here. There you go. Thank you. Jesus Christ. He was literally like laying on his neck. Just like... Isn't it enough I came into your homes? Can't even get out of your fucking bedroom. Jesus Christ. I thought this was at least a living room show. I'm sorry. Call me arrogant. But the least you could do is fucking shuffle your feet out to your... Oh, that's right. Don't you guys live in one of those socialist countries, right? Doesn't everybody have the exact same thing out there, right? Oh, Jesus, he doesn't know anything. I'm there. I'm fucking with you. Fucking with you. I understand. And all the way out to Perth. I took a tour of the Little Creatures Brewery. I did. Hi, Bill. Hey, how are you? I see the sign there. I saw the sign. My career, I don't know if you guys have realized this, but my careers are over. So, I'm doing stand-up in parking. I just did a show in a fucking parking lot. The sun was still out. That was my warm-up gig. I got to do a show in a parking lot to get ready for my gig in a garage. Can you guys even relate to this shit? No wonder nobody really showed up. Your country's fucking open. You guys are like, right, come over here. You scared cunt. You guys not afraid of COVID because you have all those taipans and those deadly fucking lunatic snakes you have out there? You have a taipan out there? You do, don't you?
No.
I think we just listened. No poisonous spite. Why am I trying to talk to 1,500 people all at the same time? Actually, not the way you want to go with this. All right, so I know you guys, you guys are in the Southern Hemisphere, so you're basically, essentially, you're like the white people that quit, you know? We're up here running the world, oppressing people, stealing ideas, and you guys are down there enjoying your surf, you know? So now I feel like it's my job as an American to keep you up on what's going on in the world. The latest hot button issue here in America. Because, they don't deal with shit, right? They don't deal with shit here. Like, the scientists just said by 2050, the amount of plastic that's going to be in the ocean is going to outweigh the fish, right? That gets no fucking traction whatsoever. However, if all of a sudden they say, Mr. Potato Head, you guys familiar with them? Mr. Potato Head is now going to be non-binary. Can't say Mr. Potato Head anymore. I think you just go Potato Head, which I think is kind of rude, right? Instead of saying Mr. Smith, you say, hey, Smith. Over here. Right? Oh, the typical thing, all these white guys flipped out like, oh my God, really? I can't even say Mr. Potato Head in my own country? They really took the fucking bait. Because it has nothing to do with transgendered people. Do you really think Mattel, I believe they're the ones who make, do you really think they give a shit if you have a dick but you always wanted a vagina? Or if you have a vagina and you always want to have a dick and now you want to go back, do you think they give a fuck? They don't. All right? It's 2021 and they sell a plastic potato that you stick shit to. Everybody's got flat screens, surround sound, virtual reality glasses. They sell a fucking plastic potato you stick shit in. Nobody wants the thing. They're losing money. They're going to have to sell their yachts. Then they won't have money for blow. And then the whores are gone. Looking out over there. They're rebranding it. It's non-binary potato head. Look, it's got a rainbow asshole. Whatever you want. Keep buying this fucking thing. So I can keep banging these whores in my boat. The most offensive thing about Mr. Potato Head is it's made out of plastic and it's going to exist for another 1,000 years after you die. What to be upset about?
Yeah.
Not that it used to have a plastic dick, but now it wants a plastic vagina. Right? I'm sorry, is this a hot topic fucking issue? I love how the middle of your country, continent and country, is just completely unusable. That is just fucking hilarious to me. They're all just like up against the fucking border. Don't look over your shoulder, it's a shit show. But look at those beaches. They're so gorgeous. Just don't go in it or you'll get eaten by a shark. No wonder your country's been open the whole fucking time. What do you guys got to lose? Go backwards, I get eaten by a dingo, right? Isn't that those things always eating babies down there? You walk forward, you get eaten by a tiger. I like how you guys, he got taken. He went out surfing, he got taken. That is so much worse than just eaten. Taken feels like they fucking, they took you somewhere, as opposed to just, you get bit and you bleed out. Just by a show of hands, how many of you guys know somebody who got killed by a shark? There we go, look at that. That's ridiculous. 3 hands just went up. I know that means shit to you guys, but that's amazing here. That'd be like if you guys go, hey, American, by a show of hands, how many of you here in the studio have an AR-15? We're all like, I got one of those. That is the gun for population control over here. I'll tell you that. That's what happens. I love how I can't do a Caitlyn Jenner joke, right? I can't do a fucking Caitlyn Jenner joke, but the news, every time there's a mass shooting, they can act like the Beatles just dropped a new album. Hey, let's talk to the parents and watch them cry about their dead kids. And people just sit in their living rooms like for entertainment. They act like they're trying to inform people. They are. Oh, I got it all figured out. Plowing ahead here. You guys have drugs down there in Australia?
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys do a lot of drugs down there?
Yeah.
How about mushrooms? Mushrooms. Is there anything worse than listening to somebody dumb who just took mushrooms? They start explaining their trip like they figured out the universe. It's all vibrations, It's just like that chair and you, man. It's just like the same thing, It's going to be one with it. It's just like, no, you didn't figure anything out. Just a dumb person that went on a trip. Who the fuck is muttering right into their microphone? Jesus. Are you reading a grocery list? All right, 2 cans of Vegemite. Gonna make a shark sandwich with mayonnaise and celery. And had some wallaby sliders. So anyway, I don't know if you guys heard, but a couple of months back, a bunch of Americans attacked our Capitol. Did that story make it over there? I'm kidding. I know Rupert Murdoch's from down there. fucking assholes. You guys sent that demon up here. You have a bigger dick contest with the guy who was fucking that chick who said the shit about the North Vietnamese. I can't remember that. Fonda. And Fonda, and she married, was it Ted Templeman? Ted Turner. Ted Templeman produced those Van Halen albums. All right, now I've completely lost what I was going to talk about. Great. This is an international incident now.
Right.
First he says he doesn't care about transgendered potatoes, and next he's making fun of shark attack victims. What next? Rainbow assholes? It's not what I paid for.
Make fun of
You know what's going to be wild? One of these shows I'm going to do, and there's going to be a serial killer that's actually watching. And like a head's going to fucking roll out of his freezer in the middle of it. Me as a comic, I'm going to have to make the decision. Do I acknowledge it, or do I keep going? It's really hard to get on a roll when you're standing in a garage on the other side of the fucking world. You know what? He killed somebody in a different country. I think that's the job for the local authorities. I'm going to move on to my next topic. Hey, do you guys still have Australian rules football down there? Yeah. All those angry hippies beating the shit out of each other. I miss that. Used to be on TV here. All those sweaty people. What is that woman in the wicker chair staring at? What are you? You've just disappeared on me. Oh, how are you? You just drifted off? There are a lot of shark attacks. That makes me think of my childhood. Fucking disappeared on me. Well, anyways, we had there's like a big feminist movement here, which is hilarious. Yeah, it's it's such a fucking waste of time. You know what I mean? I don't know how women act down there, but just sit there and watch all these women act like they all get along with each other, and they're all going to somehow get on the same page and not be petty and make fun of each other's shoes. It's never going to happen. No, there's a lot of men out here that are worried about feminism like it's going to take over. It's like it isn't. All you need to do is look at a WNBA game. It's the women's professional basketball league out here. Those poor women play in front of like 40 women a night. 40 women a night. All these feminists out there. Fucking woke bitches. We're out here to support one another. Play in front of 40 people a night. Every night, all these feminists do not show up, and they tell the world that the professional female athlete is not worth paying attention to or being paid. It's pathetic. That fucking arena should be packed with ladies with their faces painted, showing their titties, wearing jersey, going nuts just like the guys do. That's what we do. On the upper deck, faces painted, showing our man tits. Right? Look, Brady, look at my B cups. I think you're phenomenal. No? I don't know. I'm sad. Oh, Jesus. All right, okay. I'm just hearing all these angry female voices right now. Listen. I'm rooting for feminism. I'm just saying it's not going to work. All right? It's doomed. It's doomed for failure. You know what I mean? You just... Yeah, you just... women are just too fucking smart to be happy. You're just a little dumber, like us guys. You could just sit around and basically do nothing and be having a great time. There's always a problem. Sorry, I'm just talking about my relationship. I bought a fucking dream house for me and my wife, and like within 2 years of living there, she's already looking at other houses. Oh, I used to walk by this house and dream of living here. Now we do, and now you want to leave. I don't like the kitchen floor. It hurts my feet. Hey, how about if I stuff you in the cupboard and leave you there for 3 days to give you a little bit of perspective? Sorry. No. I don't know. I'm just an angry man in a garage. Anyway, so what happened was a bunch of crazy white people that listened to this orange-headed lunatic, they ended up attacking the Capitol. And everybody kept talking about the guy with the buffalo horns and all of that shit. Everybody making fun of him. I respect that guy. You know, he didn't have a good game plan, but he took a chance. Got all the way into the Capitol. He was this close to being a face on our money for the next 200 years. Just had a couple of tanks and some powdered wigs. He almost pulled it off. Got all the way into the Capitol. Sorry. That's what we do over here. We put toxic white males on fucking on money. That's our big thing. Can somebody please put the dog outside? It's been barking the entire show. Okay? Can you put it outside, or are you surrounded by poisonous spiders? Is the water rising? I can't believe only 2 people died in those floods. That's amazing. Oh, it just shows you what strong swimmers you are. We get 4 inches of rain over here. We lose at least 37 people. Yeah. And that's not even the fatties, because the fatties will float. It's all the people with eating disorders puking behind dumpsters. They're too weak. Once that water gets up on their ankles, they lose their body temperature. They actually die of hypothermia. It's true. You should look it up. I saw it on the internet. It's got to be true. That's why when they had those floods in Houston, so few people died. Because, it was voted the fattest city in America 2 years in a row, which is fucking saying something. You know what I mean? That's like having the, I don't know, what do you got? That's like having the biggest alligator down where you guys are from? Crocodile? Did that guy really die, or was that just like... Is he like your Jim Morrison? Do people still think Steve Irwin's still alive? On the other day, running around in his little booty shorts. It had to be him. He was jumping on a wallaby. Is it still too soon? Yes. Is it too soon? I'm sorry. All right. He's your Kurt Cobain? You guys should do a documentary and say his wife actually killed him. Blamed it on a stingray. I'm not saying it's true, but you can make a lot of money. Someone's going to believe it.
Maybe he did a...
What's that?
Maybe he did a...
Daughter.
Oh, his daughter did it? Oh, he's saying his daughter did. Oh, man, you went super dark. I was trying to keep it fucking light here. I'm just saying his wife killed him. You guys have that thing down there where, like, when a woman kills the guy, she goes to jail for, like, 3 days? Do you guys have that down there like we have out here? I'm sorry, I just got frustrated. I didn't mean to. Oh, Jesus. Somebody's screaming in there. All right, let me just plow ahead. People, this isn't going to work if you guys are going to, like, talk to me, because there's, like, 9,000 fucking... Who's getting who? There's 1,500. It's 15. Oh, did I just hear a kid's voice? Did I just hear a kid's voice? Is that Steve Irwin's daughter? Is that what just happened? Just make the hit list? She's going to try and come and get me? You know what I say? Bring it on. I will tell you, since I last time I was down there in Australia, I became a father. The blog, yeah, I became a father. I had unprotected sex to completion. I had two kids. The only thing sucks. There's only one thing. Having kids is like it's one of the few things that totally lives up to the hype. But I will say the only thing that does suck about having kids is it takes suicide off the table. You know? You just can't do it. You know, not that I would ever do it. But I'm just saying, it was nice to know that it was there. You know what I mean? Sort of like living near your parents when you're in your 20s. Like, I fucking moved out, but they're also right over there if I need to go home. You think if you kill yourself, you surprise God? Yeah. You know, like he just looks like, wow, what the fuck are you doing here? We said next Thursday. What are you... You're going to have to sit down there and wait. I know. This is getting dark. All right, let's steer this towards something a little happier. All right, something a little groovier, as they say. I was in. Let's talk about the home. You guys have a big homeless problem out there? Or you just make them walk into the outback?
We got welfare.
You have welfare? We got that here too. How's that working out down there? It's a good thing, right? You're on the dole, whatever the fuck you call it. We have a massive like homeless problem here because all the COVID stuff, and then people don't believe that that you need to wear a mask. So stupid. Everybody, I heard it's unhealthy. Breathing your own air is unhealthy. Yeah, it's like so fucking smoking cigarettes. You piece of shit. So I try to help out the homeless. This is the deal. I used to bring my old clothes to this place called Goodwill out here. That's where you bring all your old clothes and shit. And I kind of did a little research, and I found out that 90% of the shit that you give them, they just throw it in the ocean, right? Because the reality is when you give clothes to poor people, you don't give them your good shit, right? You give them your mistakes, right? You give them your Crocs, you vote for Pedro's shirt, your jeggings. That's what you're bringing. Mustard-colored T-shirt that you never liked, that fucked up button-down with the roses on it that your grandmother got you. That's what you're bringing them. So most of it ends up in the ocean. So it's like, I don't want to do that. So what I do is I just bring it directly to the tent cities. I bring it directly to the homeless people. So I will give you some advice. If you're ever in America and you want to give something to homeless people, my advice to you is make sure you do it during the day. Worn out from Thunderdome the night before, right? Like someone off from that tent with a 2x4 and a fucking fork, whatever they had. Want to get these people when they're tired, okay? The machete's dull from hacking feet off the night before. Because I don't know what your country's like, but they don't have homeless people the way they used to when I was a kid. All right? When I was a kid, a homeless person was a bum, they were a vagrant, a wino, somebody down on their luck. They didn't have this Shutter Island shit that they have out there nowadays, Because back in the day, they used to have nut houses. When I was a kid, if you were crazy, they stopped. Somebody just groaned that. You just let your crazy people wander around like we do? Dude, back in the day, when I was a kid, you couldn't walk around talking to trees. Just like, do that for about 12 minutes before a van would pull up, and then two guys jumped out dressing like nurses with nurse pants would just come up to you like, hey, buddy, how's it going? Right through the back of your head. You're making a lot of racket out here, aren't you? Why don't you try on this shirt? And you'd be like, well, how come the sleeves are so long? Because we're going to tie your arms behind your back because you're out of your fucking mind. That was it. And then they took you off to a nut house. And that's where you stayed. But the problem was the people that worked at the insane asylums started fucking the patients. Because everybody knows crazy people are great in bed, right? They started just fucking away. I know, somebody always groans that, okay? But it's the truth. You're groaning history. All right? True. Australia, look at me. Okay? Hey, fuck those people. Doctors got on top, lab coats flapping in the fucking wind. They fucked those people. And you can groan at me all you want, you little units, whatever you guys call fucking apartments down there. The metric system you use. Yeah, they fucked them. They banged away for decades until finally somebody decent showed up, right? Somebody fucking decent showed up and saw what was going on. Was like, hey, what the fuck is going on in here? And they shut it down. And then they let all those crazy people go. And they all came running out of the asylum. Like Mike Myers in the beginning of Halloween, jumping up on station wagons and shit. Now they just walk around. So here's the deal. When I go to give, you know, my old clothes to homeless people, I do it during the fucking day because I know that that's what's out there. And whenever you drive up or you drive by like a tent city and you see these people, it makes you feel bad. Oh, look, it's terrible. Fellow Americans living like that. How does he charge his phone, right? You know, you feel bad for him. Once you get out of the car and that smell hits you, it just becomes like a whole different feeling. I compare it to like if you went on safari in Africa, right? If you're in the Land Rover, you're like, hey, look at that lion. Ah, you're yelling at it and shit. But if you fall out of that fucking Land Rover, then you're like, oh, fuck, that's a lion, right? With homeless people. Homeless people, it's like, oh, look at him. I feel so bad for him. Then you get out of the car. Dude, this guy's out of his fucking mind. Smells like a wild animal. So what I do is when I bring the T-shirts to him, I always lose my nerve about 30 feet away, right? Or meters, whatever the fuck you guys say, right? And I start walking like this. And I lose all my nerve. I get about 30 feet away and I just throw the bag. I just go, free shirts! And then I turn, running back to my car. And in my mind's eye, one of them always runs out with like a fucking machete and is right behind me. I always do is I do a lap around my car before I get in it. Because homeless people have horrible lateral movement. All those years of sleeping on their hips on the sidewalk. They have to slow down like a cruise ship. They go up and over the horizon. As they continue on, I get in my car and I drive away. I feel good about myself. All right, you guys like when I make fun of the homeless. Let's continue with that. All right, I got one for you. This is a good homeless one. I was in New York City. I'm walking down the street, right? And I got my big headphones on because I'm an old guy, right? You kids today with your little straws you stick in your ear. Huh? Even your goddamn scooters all over the place. You guys have that down there? Just free scooters? Oh, yeah, I got the app. They just jump on.
I got arrested.
You got that? You got arrested right now? I'm talking about, how the fuck do you get arrested on a scooter? That sounded like an old guy. You took your dick out, didn't you? I was enjoying the scooter. I download the app. A man can't take a scooter down the road with his junk hanging out. All right. It is 1:05 in the morning. My kids are going to be up in about fucking 3 hours. Daddy! Anyways, so I'm walking down the street in in New York City. Getting confused here. So I have my big fucking headphones on. And as I'm walking down the street, as I come around the corner, I see this homeless guy, right? He's shaking the little cup there and everything. So I clock it. I see it, right? I don't have any fucking change or whatever. So I'm just going to walk right by this guy. So right as I'm walking, I get about 10 feet away from him, and he brings his hand up for a fist bump. Right? And here's the thing. Like I said, I love helping out homeless people, but, you know, I don't want to touch one. You know? I know. Everybody has to pretend that they care nowadays, right? Everybody acts like they're fucking woke. Nobody is. Nobody's woke. If you're really paying attention to your inner monologue, okay? If you don't believe me, walk down a scary street at night and listen to your thoughts. And then every thought you have, I then want you to tweet out on your account and let me know if you have a job on Monday. That guy with his axe, I'm sure he's a swell fellow. All the leaves are brown. So anyway, this homeless guy goes to put his fist up for a fist bump. Now, I don't want to touch this fucking person, but there's just something about when I was like a lab rat. Like, he brought his hand up like that, and without even thinking, my hand just goes up with a reciprocal fist bump. And as my hand's going up, I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? It gets worse. It gets worse, Australia and New Zealand. Let me tell you this right now. Fucking... Sorry, I haven't been bringing you guys up. I know. I've been trying to cause a little war here. I've been trying to cause a little war here.
Fucking sheep. They're too busy molesting the sheep.
Hey, you're too busy listening to shit. You're too busy listening to shit. I can't understand what you're saying, sir. I love New Zealand. They're like the only ones who stood up to the English oppressors. Right? Yeah, that's right. They showed up and they saw what the people looked like in fucking New Zealand, and then they were just like, right, maybe we can share this. Maybe this everybody. What was I talking about? Yeah. The guy brings his fucking hand up. Okay? I get closer. He's not going for a fist bump. It turns out he doesn't have any fingers. Just a homeless stump that I'm now going to, I'm going to feel the fleshy part where his fingers used to be, to get to the bones of his palm. This is what I'm going to feel, and I'm never going to forget it. Or I can just be the rudest cunt ever and choose myself, which is what I did. I went like this, and I saw that, and I just went, ah! Ah! I went right by him. I went right by him, and I feel good about it. You know what's funny? At the end of this, I'm going to get canceled, and I'll never be able to play a Garage in the Valley again. That'd be my punishment. You know, not that I disagree with some of the shit, some of the people they want to get rid of. It's just getting annoying that they're only getting rid of toxic men. You know? I don't have a problem with them getting rid of toxic men, but what about all the ladies? Feminists, don't you want equal rights? Like, listen, the latest one that I remember was, now they're like canceling people even when they're dead, right? Like Sean Connery died. The great Sean Connery.
Oh, right.
Original James Bond. He died, and everybody, yes, Duncan, get in the house, Duncan, you stupid fucking dog. The only one hearing that goddamn dog. Yeah, Jesus fucking Christ. I've never been heckled by a fucking dog. This is what I'm standing in the garage by a Weimaraner. So Sean Connery dies, for those of you who know how to control their pets, right? What does that dog know who really killed Steve Irwin? And he's trying to fucking bark it at me? What happened? Don't you think it was a little too convenient? This guy fucked with the most dangerous animals on the planet on a regular basis. And a fucking stingray takes him out? That all adds up in your guys' world. That's what you're telling me. That makes sense to you. The man had metal snaps on his fucking shirt. I've never heard of that. It was the only time in history I ever heard of somebody getting shanked by a fucking stingray. Like 9/11. That is the only time buildings have gone straight down like that.
It happens.
You know, I just realized it's like the afternoon over there. And I'm saying all this late night crazy shit. You guys like, the sun's still out. What the fuck is this guy doing? No. I'm going to have to issue a statement tomorrow. I didn't mean to make a joke. I truly believe that Steve Irwin was killed with a stingray. If I could do that show over again, I would have been in a 2-car garage and been a little more open-minded. Anyways, Sean Connery dies. The great Sean Connery, the original James Bond. The fucking guy's dead for about 10 minutes before all these cancel culture people come on. They're just going like, really? Really? We're really gonna celebrate a guy who advocated hitting women? That's not what he did. All right? All right, he said it one time. He said it one time to Barbara Walters, like fucking 45 years ago. And he didn't say to beat the shit out of him. He's like, every once in a while, give him a little slap. Back at him, let him remind him who makes the box office around here. A little slap in the hand, a little slap in the shut him up. I'm one of the most beautiful men in the world. I could fuck anything I want. Consider yourself honored. I'm gonna slip you from right? Hey, I'm just repeating what they said. Or did you just spill something on your thigh? I just said, all right, so listen, whoever just said that, all right, you're going to cancel Sean Connery, fine. All right, what about Coco Chanel? Still to this day, she's a feminist icon. She started her own purse factory and had fragrances. She's an inspiration to all women. Yeah, she was also a Nazi spy. Yeah. It's all over her Wikipedia page. It's longer than the shit about the fucking shoe she made. You guys never heard this? Basically, the Nazis came in. She was already working for them. When they took over Paris, when the old A-star came to town, the little angry fucking little person there with this stupid mustache, she comes to town, right? She closed up her shop, moved into the Ritz where all the fucking high-level Nazis were, and she started a relationship with one. She started fucking a Nazi. She was sucking the dick. What, was sticking people into ovens? Remember those little piles of shoes? Yeah. Those kid shoes? She was fucking that. But I get it. I get it. She's a woman. She shouldn't be held accountable for her actions. She was into fashion, and when those Nazis showed up with those Hugo Boss uniforms, she couldn't help herself. The way the lines just went up, tapered down to their waist. Dude, she so sold out her own fucking country. When the war was over, she had to flee to Switzerland, wiping Nazi jizz off her face. Well, why don't you talk to me about Sean Connery? A little slap, little slap. Across the face. Listen, I don't fault her for what she did. Okay? I don't. Okay? I've never been in that situation where the world's most powerful army comes in and takes over my country. You know? She's a woman. What was she supposed to do? Fortunately, as a female, females can fuck their way out of a problem. They realize that an orifice is an option. Now, guys don't learn this till they go to prison, but women learn this very early on. They can fuck their way out of the problem, and she did what she had to do. And in my heart of hearts, I believe that she's up in heaven now, next to Sean Connery, and he's slapping the shit out of her. What kind of world do we live in? All right, people. Now, I've divided a lot here. I waited a good 40 minutes before I even acknowledged that New Zealand was in the garage. And Adelaide. Sorry, the guy with the Adelaide sign. Sorry. I don't know what's going on with Adelaide. I don't know why everybody's shitting all over that. Sounds like a happy place to me. Adelaide. Adelaide sounds fun. All right, let's not all be yelling out your fucking cities, okay? I'm an American. There's only one city in Australia. All right, Australia. That's it. As far as my geography. Huh? Oh my God. I think that I feel like the people yelling out, that's all the same. Doesn't that sound like it's coming from the same place? The dog, the guy who got arrested on the scooter, screaming voice. Yeah, you hear that? That's all the same thing. That right there, people. You hear that? Yeah, that is the next big reality show in Australia. Whatever the fuck is going on with the scooter guy, that fucking dog, and that high-pitched voice. Oh, God. May you all swim with stingrays. Not you guys, just the people in that apartment, including the dog. But what did the dog do? He was dumb enough to not run away. All right, let's bring the room together here. Let's talk abortion, shall we? Is that legal down? Is it legal in Australia, New Zealand?
Yeah.
Yes.
It is? All right, that's a good thing. All right, I'm going to let you guys know something before we get into this shit. I have a really weird take when it comes to abortion. All right? I do. I got a really weird take. I am 100% pro-choice. All right? Yeah, well, I said it's a weird one, so wait till I'm finished here. All right? No, I really believe it's your body, it's your choice, right? Who the hell am I to tell you what you should be doing with your body, right? You know, that's it. However, I also still think you're killing a baby. See, so that's where it gets weird. I'm not saying you shouldn't be able to do it, but that is what you're doing. See, now it all gets quiet and weird. People, it's the entire purpose of the procedure. You're not going in there because you got an earache. You're walking in like, I got a baby in me, get it out of here. Right? Walk in with the baby, you come out without one. What happened to the baby? Is it like one of those old school magic tricks where they stuff the handkerchief down and they go... No, I get it. Pro-choice people always say, well, it's not a baby yet. That's what happens in this country. People go, you're killing a baby. You're killing a baby. Like, it's not a baby yet. You're killing a baby. You're a baby kill. Dude, it's not a baby yet. Life doesn't start. I don't know. Maybe that's true. It just doesn't make any sense to me. You know what I mean? That it's not a baby yet. That'd be like if I was making a cake, right? And I poured some batter in a pan and I stuck it in the oven. And then 5 minutes later, you came by and you took the pan, you threw it across the floor. And I went, well, what the fuck? You just ruined my birthday cake. And you went, that wasn't a cake yet. In a bed. You didn't throw it across the floor. You didn't do what you just fucking did. There would have been a cake in 50 minutes. This is a touchy subject. Did you guys all just get abortions? I'm feeling bad here. I think it's great that people are killing their babies. I do. I really do. Now, if you're really honest with yourself, have you done anything great with your life? Is the person you're fucking doing anything great with their life? The answer to both of those questions is no. What are the odds you're going to make a great person? I'm not just saying you're going to make a bad person. You're just going to make a person. You're just going to make another person that when the light turns green, they don't go because they're staring at their fucking phone. You're just going to make that again. He now has a 40% chance of being a flat earther. The Great Barrier Reef is dying, right? Just get him out of here. I think my goal at this point is I'm just going to stay on stage till all of you guys just gradually shut off and just be like, all right, Bill, I go to work now. I think I had enough gloom and doom. I had to relive Steve Irwin's death, and you're saying I should kill a baby. And there's some innocent dog who did nothing. You know, a couple years ago, when the world was normal, before the new normal, I was in New York for an entire summer. I had an acting gig, and I was playing a fireman in a movie, right? Now, I'm not the best actor, so I got to look the role, so I grew this giant, a giant fireman mustache, which I'm not going to lie to you, it looked great when they had me in costume. When they dressed me all up like a fireman, and they put the fake dirt on my face, I looked like I'd been fighting fires for like 25 years. However, when I took off the getup, washed off my face, and put on my regular clothes, I immediately just looked like some sad old queen that never found love. Right? Big orange Freddie Mercury mustache walking down the street, right? So here's the funny thing. I was in New York in June. What about you? I was in New York in... Sorry, it's an old show tune. I was in New York, and I was in there in the month of June, which is Gay Pride Month in the United States. You guys have Gay Pride down there? You allowed to be gay?
Yeah.
In that part of the world? Are you? Questioning. All right. So, anyways, gay guys show up hardcore. I don't know where all the ladies were, but it was just wall-to-wall gay guys. And for the entire month of June, when I tell you for 30 straight days, not one guy hit on me. Looked at me, not one gay dude even acknowledged me. I've never felt so fucking sad and washed up in my life. You know? I'll tell you, I already lived through women not giving a fuck about me. That's one level of nature. But when you get to the level that not even a man wants to fuck you, it is just such a statement of your own mortality. Men will fuck anything. When you get to the level that all men are just like, yeah, buddy, keep it moving. Not interested. Don't even see you. Dude, I was questioning my own fucking, every choice I made. Did I wait too long to have kids? I felt like I had one foot in the grave. I was walking down 8th Avenue. I was putting a swish in my fucking walk. Just something. To try and get some action, right? And I'll never forget it. I came down. It was near the Port Authority. And all of a sudden, about two blocks away, I see this lesbian coming up the street. All right? I just clock her. I see her. I'm like, lesbian, right? So, I know you guys are all woke, part of the young woke generation. Your question's probably like, well, hey, man, how did you know she was a lesbian? You know? You just, looked at her, and all of a sudden you just knew she was a lesbian? How did you just know she was a lesbian? Well, easy. How did I know? Easy. The same way you know. Right? The same way other lesbians know. It's not calculus. Look how fucking quiet it is in here. You guys are acting like you don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, I get it. It's 2021. You got to act like, I have no idea. What does the lesbian... I have no frame of reference. I have gay friends, but I've never noticed any through line, right? You guys are so full of shit right now, because if some 21-year-old white kid came in here, hair slicked back, collar popped, loafers, no socks, your brain would start going, all right, frat boy date rapist, his dad's a judge, not going to jail. He just killed a family of 5 in a drink-and driving accident, he's getting a new car tomorrow, right? You're allowed to see that. But with this new woke shit, you gotta be like, I have no idea what... Is that a lesbian? Am I a lesbian? People, I'm not saying all lesbians look alike. I would never say some ignorant shit like that, okay? However, I am saying every once in a while, though, there is a fucking layup. It's flat top, wallet chain, fucking walking up the street. Even then, it's like I'm not saying 100%, but gun to my head, I gotta go lesbian. Final answer, show me lesbian, right? But anyway, I'm walking down the street with my big fucking gay mustache, swishing my hips, and she's fucking walking up the street, right? It becomes clear to me that if we continue to walk the way we're walking, we're gonna bump into each other. All right, now I don't want to bump into a woman. I don't want to bump into anybody in New York. So I do the gentlemanly thing. I clock it. I see what's going to happen. So what I did was I just sort of gradually drifted over into my own lane, right? But here's the weird part. We walk like another 30 yards, and all of a sudden she drifts back into my lane. And I was like, wow, that was weird. Thought I solved this problem, right? So once again, I got into my own fucking lane. Just kept walking, right? Another 30 yards. She comes back into my lane again. And now we're only about maybe like, I don't know how many meters away, but we're getting fucking close, right? So at this point, like, I'm up on the curb. So I'm like, what am I supposed to do now? What is the politically correct math? Am I supposed to step off into the bike lane and get run over by one of these young lunatics on their electric bikes going 35, 40 fucking miles an hour? People, I'm 52 years old. I can't go down to the pavement, knees and elbows. And for the rest of my life, every time it rains, I got to think about this fucking lesbian that walked me off the block. So that's option number one. Option number two, do I just give up the whole sidewalk? Like, oh, you're gayness? Or option number three, do I stay in my lane, stiffen up my shoulder, and stand my ground? Now, I'm not proud of this, but I chose the last option. Right? I'm 52, I got an AARP card, I moved twice, I'm the victim here. An AARP card is what they give people over 50, where you get to go to the movies for cheap. They pour extra butter on your popcorn so you won't hurt yourself chewing it. So I make this decision. I'm not fucking moving, right? And all of a sudden she starts coming at me. So in my head, I'm already laughing in my head going, okay, this is going to be fucked up. I've never had an interaction with a female like this. This is going to be crazy. And I'm not going to lie to you. When she started closing in, I really leaned in. I leaned into this shit because she was built like a janitor and I was not going to get spun around. Not having that on the resume. So anyways, the last second I lean in and we're going to hit. She turned her shoulders so we missed. But our forearm still hit with significant enough of a sound that it warranted a turnaround. Right? Now, judging by your silence here, I need to break down pedestrian etiquette in New York City. Here's how it works. If you're walking down the street, right, and someone's coming this way, you're going this way. If you guys just brush against each other, you don't have to stop. You can just look over your shoulder like, hey, sorry, man, my bad, and you keep going, right? Scenario number two, you're walking down the street, you bump a little harder, then you got to turn around. Oh, sorry, didn't see you, my bad. Little dojo bow, whatever you have to do to keep it from escalating. And then there's the last one, where you're walking down the street and you hit so hard, you got to turn around and go full De Niro, like, hey, I'm fucking walking here. Move twice, not for nothing. I kind of think you did that on purpose, don't you? Right? Well, I turn around to have this, and I'm not going to lie to you, that bugged me for like 3 days. Dude, just the smack alone of our skin, there's no fucking way you don't look, right? And I'm just sitting there, she fucking did that on purpose, there's no way she did, and I was feeling this anger for this person, right? But I got kids now, and I don't want to be angry, right? So I got to let this shit go. So I've been reading a lot about anger. You wouldn't know it from this fucking show, but I have. I learned that empathy, putting yourself in somebody else's shoes, helps you to figure them out so you don't have anger, right? So I start thinking, all right, let me put myself in her shoes. What would make somebody do that? How could you accidentally drift into my lane twice? So I was like, all right, I don't know, maybe she's one of those diagonal walkers. You know? We get behind someone like that at the airport, they're just walking too slow with their luggage, you're late for your flight, and you're like, all right, fuck it, I'm going to go around to the right, and what do? They just start fucking drifting, right? Drifting this way, you go to the left, they start coming back like this, it's like they just got off a ship. I'm like, nah, it's not that. You have some physical ailment? Did she have a stroke? Like, what's going on? She was walking fine, and finally I was just like, you know what, the hell with it, she's just an asshole, and I'm going to let it go, right? Which, of course, I never could do. So, I stopped thinking about it. A week later, I'm doing dishes, right? Because my wife's a slob. So I'm doing the dishes, right? And, you know, we do the dishes. It's a very zen-like thing to do. You're not thinking about anything. So my brain was empty. So, of course, the answer just comes into my head. All of a sudden, I just looked up from the dishes. I'm like, oh, my God. I know why she did it. I know why she bumped into me. She bumped into me because she's a lesbian. She did it because she's a lesbian. Just do the math. Put yourself in a lesbian's position, right? Who do lesbians date? Women. Who do they live with? Women. Who do they possibly marry? Women. Guess what? I know what the fuck that's like. I've been married 7 years. I know exactly what is going on in her fucking world. I know what it's like to try to keep a woman happy. I know what it's like to buy him the shiny thing. Eh? Did I do it? Can I get 3 days of fucking peace? No. I know what it's like to be winning an argument with the woman. I got you. You're wrong. I'm winning. And then they find this one little thing to make the argument about. Next thing you know, she's winning. You're apologizing. She starts crying. And in your head, you're like, what the fuck just happened? I lose this. And you're backing out of the room. I'm sorry. Next time I won't bring it up when you're fucking mean to me. I should have known better, right? You're so beside yourself. You're going for a walk. And then all of a sudden, in the middle of the walk, you figure out where she tricked you, and it makes you feel so stupid. And then you look up, and you see some idiot coming down the street in an orange mustache, and you want to fucking bump into them. That's what it was. I feel so stupid that I got mad at her. I shouldn't have got mad at her. I should have bought her a beer. Just bought her a beer and just said, go ahead, unload. I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to validate your feelings. Everything that you're not getting. I'm telling you, if you don't believe this theory, do a little people watching. All right? Next time you go out to a bar, just take a look at the look on the average lesbian's face. All right? I don't mean a lesbian in her 20s. She's got her whole life ahead of her. She's got Christmas in her eyes. I mean a lesbian about 35, 36. Sort of settling into what it's going to be. And look across the bar and find a married man about the same age, 35, 36. Look at the look on his face. Look at the look on her face. It's the same fucking look. Right? And then look at gay men. Some of the happiest fucking people I've ever met in my life. They're almost too happy. Like, hey, how's it going? They're like, hi! Almost floating across the room with that lack of estrogen yanking them down to the fucking ground. Dude, gay guys are some of the most positive people I've ever met in my life. Any idea you have, they're just like, yes, yes, queen, yes! A little supportive. Lesbians are up at the bar like a bunch of jaded cops. That's all fucking bullshit. Watch us that stupid fucking reality show every fucking, is she ever wrong? Is she ever wrong? I'm telling you, I think married men and lesbians need to start hanging out. And we got to put our heads together and solve our common problem. All right? The women in our lives. You guys are taking this bit so fucking seriously. I'm on to something. You think I'm just pulling this out of my ass? I learned this on the movie. One of the actors was gay, and I came in bitching about my wife, and she just fucking jumped right in and started talking about her girlfriend. 2 hours later, we're laughing our asses off, smoking cigars together. Like, you can't make me happy. Can't make me happy. We had a great fucking time. I don't know what to, all right. What can I end on here, people? Before I get out of here, I want to thank all of you guys that took the fucking time out in countries that are open to come out and watch my dumb ass in a fucking garage. Let's see if I had anything back here that I forgot to do. Let's see. Lesbian, did that. Went good for about half of it, and then it kind of shit. Homeless, I think I did that. People on mushrooms, scooters. Oh, I'm gonna end on one here.
I'm listening.
You're listening, Greg. There's one person listening. Here's the deal. I've been trying to work on my temper, like seriously. Like I'm like fucking stone sober this whole month. You know? And I commend anybody out there who's straight edge. Okay? Every day, just taking life in the fucking face. No more taking the edge off.
Yeah.
You just have to sit in your fucking sadness. That's what I've been doing for this month, because I got to figure out, because I don't want to be like my dad. I hate to say that, but I don't want to be like him. He's not a bad dude. He's just from a different era. And when I was a kid, people were afraid of their dads. I grew up in the 70s and 80s. Like now you see little kids, a dad shows up there, they're just like, Dad's home, Daddy, oh my God, hi, Father. When I was a kid, it was just like, Dad's home, fuck, Dad's home, run, hide, go out the window. Good luck, Mama. Terrifying. My dad was such a fucking lunatic. All of his kids got physical ailments from being in the fight or flight mode their entire childhood. Like one of my siblings has stomach problems. I had alopecia in the 3rd grade. Had clumps of hair falling out of my head like I was working on Wall Street. I was just sitting there trying to remember if I made my bed. So I made a promise to myself. I'm like, I'm never going to do that to my kids. I'm never yelling in front of my kids. You know, I'm going to make this improvement. I'm never going to yell in front of my kids, right? So, the other night, I'm yelling in front of my kids. Right? Because that's how life is. You don't just go like, oh, you know what? I'm not doing heroin anymore. And then you just stop. You got to get clean, right? So, here's what happened. Here's the thing. I don't yell at people the way my dad did. I more yell about stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I get really frustrated with technology. Like, you know what I don't like about the iPhone? Is like, if you fucking leave it plugged in overnight, it just takes that as consent that they could just upgrade or whatever the fuck they do to make your phone slower. It's like, well, you know, you had it plugged in. I mean, that was consent enough. You went to bed, you plugged your phone in. It's like, oh, great. If some chick falls asleep, does that mean I can fuck her? Is that what you're telling me, Apple? Is that the code you live by? Sorry. Yeah, so then the next day I pick up my phone, and then shit that I used to do, I want to send. Where the fuck is the send button? I fucking flip out, right? So the other day I went downstairs, right? I was eating breakfast. I had like 20 minutes to myself, which is very rare if you have 2 kids. I was like, holy shit. I have the morning to myself. I can eat eggs, bacon well done, and toast. And I sat down, and right as I sat down to eat this breakfast, my phone started vibrating. And I look up, and I see this text message that says, hey man, that Zoom meeting started 5 minutes ago. I thought you were going to jump on this. I realized I had a meeting, and I just lost it. I was like, Jesus Christ, can I just have one cocksucking motherfucking murder myself? And all of a sudden, my 2.5-year-old daughter came running into the kitchen with big tears in her eyes, and she's just going, I'm sorry, Dada. I'm sorry. I was like, oh my God. And I had to get down on my knee. I don't know if you guys can see me. I had to get all the way down. I was like, no, buddy, you didn't do anything wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. Your dad has a temper. He was yelling at the phone. It wasn't, I loved you, okay? I could feel her tears drying on my t-shirt. I'm like, I'm sorry, buddy. Okay, it won't happen again. I love you, okay? She's like, okay. And then you know you do that thing with a little kid, you just turn him around and push him in the direction you want him to walk. I just sort of sent her back out. And I was so upset with myself that I didn't even finish my breakfast, and I went upstairs to just lay down and be alone and try and process what the fuck I just did. You know, I just wanted to be alone, but you know, I'm married, so you can't fucking do that. My wife comes bursting in because I fucked up, and you know the deal, when you're a guy and you fuck up, you're gonna have to watch some game film. They're gonna take you back through the whole thing. He just comes walking in, she's like, so, you want to discuss that little incident that just happened downstairs in the kitchen? It's like, no, my heart's still laying down on the floor. I would like to process, let me tell you something, that is my kid too. And she just starts reading me the riot act. And I understand it's her kid too. So she had a right to say this shit. But she should have waited, because I wasn't even listening to her. The second she started talking, her voice just faded away. And all I did is I just started thinking about the news. You know? Like, you ever see a story on the news where some guy, he's never committed a crime in his life, he helps old ladies across the street, and then just out of nowhere, he kills his wife. And I was thinking, like, you know what? It's because of moments like this. And I think it is high time, the next time some guy who's never even had a parking ticket goes out of nowhere, he kills his wife, I think it's high time to bring back the question, what did she say? All right, listen, I am out of time. I want to thank you guys so much for coming out. New Zealand, Australia, I hope you had a good time with the dogs and all of that. One more time for Al, Bene. Thank you, Daniel, and everybody. Good night. Thank you so much. Good afternoon. Good day. And all of that. We'll see you next time.
Thanks so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Burr, keep it going for him. Come on, how good is that? It is, I think, 20 to 2 in the morning in LA. So he fucking put in the shift for you guys. I hope you enjoyed your first experience at the Nowhere Comedy Club. If this was your first experience here, there are shows regularly at Nowhere Comedy Club. You can get tickets, huge names: Gilbert Gottfried, Mike Birbiglia, Greg Proof, Sam Morrill. heaps of amazing comedians you can watch from the comfort of your living room. Please just don't bring your dog, I think, is the big lesson today. The huge lesson. But yeah, I just want to say thank you. Follow us at Nowhere Comedy on Instagram and Twitter. The website is www.nowherecomedyclub.com. And beyond that, the opening act you saw today, Al Del Bene, he is in Australia. He is around. Please go support him. See him live. Follow him on Instagram, al.del.bene, B-E-N-E. That's how you do that. And you got to support new comedians, guys, because if you don't support new comedians, you just end up watching Peter Hellier again. So, have a great one. My name's Daniel Muggleston. Hopefully see you guys soon. Catch you later. Cheers. Bye.
Yeah.